Hey you guys, it's Peter, and no, this is not a vlog, and no, I am not doing my typical intro over here today. I am so fired up right now, you guys. I just went and picked up Maggiano's for me and my husband. We're gonna watch a little RuPaul's Drag Race, and I was at the gas station filling up my gas tank, and so I just was sitting there, and I started getting these tweets about Trisha's video. Trisha Paytas put up a video today, and her video is called, hold on a second, let me, it's called Why I'm Afraid of Jeffree Star and Why I'm Scared of Jeffree and Hair by Jay. So I was like, what is this about? So I went over and I was looking at Jeffree Star's Twitter, and I was looking at Trisha's Twitter, and there was like this back and forth going on, and I was like, what is going on? So before I get into this, I had to make this video. I was going to wait till tomorrow to make this video because I have another video already prepared to go up, and it's already 8:43, so I was like, I'll just do it tomorrow. But I am so fired up right now about this. I was like, okay, I'm not going to pull out the ring light and make my husband move and all that kind of stuff to make this video, but I have some things I want to say, and I want to say them tonight. So I went into Trisha's Twitter, and hold on a second, let me pull all this up. So I went into Trisha's Twitter, and I saw that she had tweeted out something that Jeffree Star responded. So she said, if you, Jeffree Star put, I have personally apologized to, okay, somebody responded to him and said, Jeffree Star, if you support what was said to Trisha Paytas in that video, you are trash. I don't care what kind of money you have. That is mean girl behavior. You need to apologize and fire Hair by Jay, okay? So what this is referencing is this Hair by Jay, who is Jeffree Star's wig person, went on like an Instagram live deal, I think it was, something live, and somebody's put it up on YouTube. You can go find it. Just put in Trisha Paytas and Hair by Jay, and you can see there's like 3 or 4 video clips of his live stream. And turn down the heat, it's so hot in here. I'm literally blown away, you guys. So I went over and, so anyway, so he did this Instagram live responding to Trisha talking about this trip that they took to Vegas a year ago. Okay, this trip to Vegas has been talked about so much that she was there, and, Jeffree like paid for her to fly there on his private jet and then put her up in a room. They went to go see Mariah Carey. Okay, if you remember, Tab David, who was also there, came out with a video that everybody said was a lie. Everybody said there was no truth to that this guy was just trying to come for Jeffree Star. This was long before Jeffree Star was like really canceled, okay? And didn't give any credit to this guy, even though this guy wanted no fame off this video. He ended up taking the video down. So he didn't want any followers off of it. And he talked in there about how Jeffree Star treated the people that were around him on that trip, okay? One of which was Trisha Paytas. So now we're a year later, okay? And this just continues and continues and continues. Well, this guy in this live stream is responding to Trisha Paytas, talking about it because she's brought it up again, right? Okay, so then Trisha showed part of it in this video that she did where she talks about being scared of Jeffree. I don't blame her, okay? I don't blame her one bit. This man, this Hair by Jay, I mean, it is such borderline misogyny, this hatred for women almost. I mean, he body shames her and makes fun of her skin, makes fun of her weight. He docks her company, docks her phone number, ridicules her, and threatens her. The exact line that he said, I pulled into a parking lot behind the gas station so I could watch these videos because I was like, is this really happening? So what he says to her was, he says, I will destroy you. By the time I'm done with you, you'll look anorexic. Okay, which is really interesting that this is somebody that Jeffree Star keeps so close to him. Even though when people have body shamed Jeffree Star, he has literally gone through the roof, okay? But you're okay with somebody doing this to Trisha Paytas, who supposedly is your friend. And even if she's not, she is the best friend of Shane Dawson and Rylan Adams, who made you a shit ton of money off that cash grab collaboration that you guys did last year for the conspiracy palette, okay? Oh, where is Shane and Rylan? They're nowhere to be found. They're not supporting Trisha and all this, and she says this in her video. Okay, so I go in here, and I'm reading these tweets from Jeffree Star. Hold on a second. So, Jeffree Star says... He responds to this tweet of this person that says, if you support what was said to Trisha Paytas in that video, you are trash. I don't care what kind of money you have. That is mean girl behavior. You need to apologize and fire Hair by Jake. First of all, okay, I don't know who taught anybody anything about money, but my mother always taught me that money is not defined by how much, or class is not defined by how much money you have. Class is how you treat people, okay? And this is interesting to me because this whole thing is all about Jeffree Star and the people around him, who is barely nobody at this point, except for hair and makeup people, and how they're talking about all these people behind them, right? And didn't Jeffree Star come out and say that that's like a myth and that everybody wants people to think that he's talking about them behind their back, but there's no truth to that? And here Trisha Paytas is coming out and saying, yeah, it is true. You do talk about people behind your back. You talked about me. And this guy in his live stream is validating that. So, Jeffree Star has proven, yes, once again, that he is a liar. So, Jeffree Star responds to this, and he says, I have personally apologized to Trisha Paytas several times last year about Vegas, and she never responded, which is her right. I respected it, and what happened is between us. Don't drag me into new drama. Not interested. What someone else says does not represent me, okay? So, yeah, it kind of does, okay? I'm sorry, but you're the company that you keep. And just up until minutes ago, okay, you were showing this guy in Instagram stories and all this kind of stuff, and I think he just flew out to his place in Wyoming and brought a bunch of wigs. I mean, yeah, he does represent you. This is the person that you're choosing to be around. These are the people that you are, you know, choosing to represent you because you're putting money in their pocket. So this person that talks so horribly about Trisha Paytas, who supposedly was a friend of yours at one point, you're putting money in their pocket. You're supporting them. They do represent you to some degree, okay? But it goes on. So then, hold on a second. So then Trisha Paytas comes out and she says, if you don't want to be involved in the drama, why is he speaking your name in the video, talking about his live stream, on your behalf? Confirming all the horrid SHI toot you guys said about me, question mark, question mark, question mark. I have been cool, but he is speaking on your behalf multiple times in all of his feeds, okay? Of which Jeffree Star retweets it and says, you've ignored all my messages and texts for months, yet want to have an internet circus with an audience? No, thank you. Love you, girl. You can call or text me anytime. Why would Trisha Paytas, now, and y'all know I don't defend Trisha Paytas very much, okay? But watching this video tonight of her watching this Hair by Jay guy's live stream was painful. It was so painful for me to watch this, to have to sit there and think that another human being had to watch this, have somebody say these things about her. It was cruel. She goes on and says, you know, you guys are 32, this is mean girl stuff. It is mean girl stuff. It is absolutely 100% mean girl stuff. And for anybody that had thought for a shadow of a doubt about Jeffree Star, anybody that defends this, you're defending mean girl behavior, okay? Because Jeffree Star should have come out and said, okay, in retaliation to this, you're right, Trisha, there was nothing right that should have been said about this. I'm sorry that he talked about you that way. Let's talk privately. I'm done with this person. I'm not going to surround myself with somebody. You know, the thing that cracks me up about all of this is we're talking about people in the beauty industry, okay? We're talking about people who put wigs on people's head to make them feel beautiful, to make them feel better about themselves. We're talking about people that own makeup industries, okay? To make people feel beautiful about themselves. And this has been the huge dichotomy that I have never understood within the beauty community that I have covered now for over 4 years, okay? Is that some of the people that are supposed to be making other people feel beautiful about themselves, not just the outside, but their insides too, right? That we're supposed to be able to, like, connect the insides of how we feel about ourselves on the inside to the outside. Some of these people are the ugliest people of all in how they treat other people. I just don't understand why people don't see this. I don't understand how people cannot see this, okay? Go watch Trisha's video. It is painful to watch when you watch these clips. And so, okay, it goes on, and then it goes back and forth, okay? So then I go in and I watch this video, all right? Now, I took some notes, so I'm going to read you some of my notes because I'm just... I put this tweet up, and I said in my tweet, hold on a second. Get to my other tweet, not my private Twitter. When you're a drama channel, you have to have a private Twitter. I said in my Twitter, and I firmly believe this, okay? I literally have so much to say. This man body shamed, ridiculed, doxed, and threatened her publicly. No accountability does this guy take whatsoever. Jeffree Star, I'm not in it. That's not my... He doesn't take any accountability either. He could have just been a good person. Just for once, he could have just been a good person and said, Trisha, you didn't deserve this, okay? Trisha and I don't get along. Trisha, you don't deserve this. You don't deserve to have anybody talk to you that way. Trisha, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry that somebody talked to you that way. This is horrible. This is horrible that anybody would be okay with that. And the fact that Jeffree Star wants to just, I'm not part of the drama. Girl, pull it together, okay? This is when you stand by. Listen, I was bullied my whole entire time growing up. And it was the people that stood by and allowed it to happen that made it 10 times worse than the people that were doing it to me. Because if those people hadn't stood by, if any one of those people had stood up and said, this is not okay, you shouldn't be doing this to Peter, you shouldn't be talking to Peter this way, and I'm just one of a million stories. I know there's a million people out there that have been bullied. Okay, but this is bullying. If anybody would stand up and actually say something, if Jeffree Star would come out and say, Jay, you shouldn't be talking about Trisha this way. You shouldn't be talking about another human being this way. You guys got to watch this video. I mean, the things that he says about her is just, it's painful to watch. So he calls her a fat bee and says maybe she should go on a diet. Then he talks about her skin. He calls her a walrus. It says that she has warts and all this stuff in there. He says Jeffree Star is a good person because he doesn't air people out. And then maybe he should. Maybe he should start talking about basically Trisha is what he says. And then so anyway, he goes on, he continues to shame her and shame her. He is like so in this camera, like so angry. Like it's kind of volatile, you guys. I mean, it's really aggressive how he's talking. And and he's like, you know me, and blah, blah, blah. He says all this kind of stuff to her. I mean, if I was watching that and somebody was, as somebody that has worked on how I talk to people, I mean, like, it's kind of scary to watch. It honestly is. Like, I feel really bad for her. Then he goes on, he continues to shame her. He shames her because Jeffree flew her to Vegas and paid for her room. Put her in the plane, took her to Mariah. Who cares, okay? I did not know. I am so heated about this. I haven't seen somebody show their ASS like this in a really long time. This is not funny, okay? Like, this is really, really serious that people are out there and they're continuing to, like, endorse this man, okay? He needs to come out and make a public apology to Trisha Paytas, period. And Jeffree Star, you do too, okay? You need to publicly apologize to Trisha Paytas over this, whether it came from your mouth or not. But Jeffree Star is supposedly part of all of these conversations, but yet he never wants to be pulled into the drama. So let's just imagine Jeffree Star sitting in a room and makeup and hair people around him. Who do you think is at the beginning of that conversation? Seriously? Okay? And if Jeffree Star is sitting there and they're all saying these things, and Jeffree Star isn't, as Trisha Paytas' friend at that time, he said to her, she reached over for a nacho and he said, don't eat that, Trisha. What? My friends will let me eat a nacho. Now, if they will say to me, you know, like, you're not going to be happy if you continue to eat because you're so upset about your weight, okay? But they would never say to me something about don't eat a nacho. That is no friend. Then she goes on. She does spill some beans and say that Rylan and Shane were supposed to get married right after that trip, so I don't know what happened to that. But she says that she was upset because Rylan just had Jeffree Star on her on his podcast last week. I'd be upset about that too. I would be too. Trisha Paytas has had Shane Dawson's back for forever. First of all, okay, but definitely through everything that the man has gone through in the last year, she has had Shane Dawson's back in a way that nobody else has. And Rylan has Jeffree Star on his podcast. Girl, that's not a knife in your back. That's a knife right in your chest, and you should see that. Shane and Rylan are not your friends, Trisha. They are not your friends, okay? If Shane Dawson was her friend, he would break silence and come up on an Instagram story and defend her the way that she's defended him. Period. So anyway, it goes on, and he says all this stuff about her money, and she's renting her out. Who cares? Who cares? So if I buy my friend a dinner, okay, or if a friend buys me a dinner, does that mean I owe them everything? Like, I'm blown away by that mentality, okay? That if somebody pays for something for you, that you should literally bend over backwards and do everything that they say. Is this the world of the people that revolve themselves in Jeffree Star's world? Like, is that the world they live in? Like, that's a sad world that you live in. If you buy people things and then they bend over backwards and just are like this to you. That must be the world that they all live in. I don't know. So it goes on. This is where she said something about the reaching for the nacho, and Jeffree Star says don't eat. And then she says that he holds things over people's heads that they pay for. And then she goes in and she says, this is mean, petty, mean girl, shit. And I agree. It is. It's mean girl stuff. It's so far past even the funniness of mean girl. It's bullying and borderline misogyny to me. Like, to be speaking, I don't know. I'm so glad I don't live in this world. I really, really am, you know? I've had my best friend of 24 years, and I have 3 or 4 other close friends that are quality friends, and they've got my back, and they would never talk about me that way, and I would never talk about them. And somebody that talks about you that way is not your friend. They just are not your friend at all. It goes on and on and on. Then he says, you know, I will destroy you by the time I'm done with you. Okay, all that kind of stuff. And then she goes in and she addresses that people are saying that she lied about how she paid or didn't pay for this service or whatever. And that she says that when they were there, it's so much, you guys, that when she was there, Jay said that Jeffree was going to cover the bill. But then as soon as she got home, when she left, because she was like, I don't want to be around this anymore because this is cruel. This is mean. You guys are making me feel left out. Apparently, they were trying to ditch her left and right. I'd leave too. I'd get the next plane out of there. And I think if anybody has any question about how she really was treated in Las Vegas, go watch Jay's Instagram story, because I did watch it. And if that's how he talks about somebody publicly, putting that out there to the world, he sure as hell doesn't have any problem talking about people behind their backs, okay? If that's how he talks about somebody publicly so the whole world can see it. I am just blown away. But anyway, she said she did pay him afterwards, and he even showed it. Like, he showed on his thing where she had Venmo'd him the money. I wanted to see what some people had to say about this on Twitter, because after I put up this Twitter thing, it's getting a lot of responses. Someone said how she stood by Shane while he continues to have his nose firmly inserted up Jeffree's ass too makes me so angry and hurt. Someone said, I don't agree with a lot of things that Trisha has done, but she has every right to be hurt, angry, and upset. And I said it in my thing. I said she was absolutely right to make that video. She was absolutely right to make a video. And this is not about her stirring up drama. This is not about her saying, I'm hurt, I'm scared. I would be too, okay? I mean, seriously. Like, this is like a big deal, you know? And then someone said, and it's even more sad that Shane cares more about cashing in those Jeffree checks than sticking up for a friend that defended him entirely through the years. All these people are going on about Shane. Someone said Rylan just had Jeffree on his boring podcast. Oh, this is Malcolm. Hey, Malcolm. About the Kanye thing. People never cared about. Like, if Shane Dawson doesn't speak up and defend his friend, Trisha, then he'll never defend her. Something about that doesn't sit right with me. And someone said, that was personal one. Someone said, I know Trisha is problematic, but she is human. Thank you for speaking up and saying what we are all thinking. Someone said, 100% agree with you. Shane should defend his friend. How she defended him when there was literally no defending him. She caught a lot of flack for doing that, and she took it. She has attacked anyone that has said anything negative about him. So where are you now, Shane Dawson? Someone said, thankfully H3 defended her, but the fact that Shane was silent after all she's done for him is disgusting. I mean, people are really coming for Shane. Someone said it was hard to watch. It's hard to watch her be dismissed and patronized. She may not be perfect, but she's allowed to be angry. How hard is it to validate her feelings publicly without being sarcastic, dismissive, and patronizing? Exactly. Why could Jeffree Star not have just said to her, Trisha, you didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve this. No human being deserves this. And if you have people that are talking to you about this in your life, talking about you like this in your life, they're not your friends. They're not people that care about you. People that care about you shouldn't be talking to you about that way. Love doesn't hurt that way. Like, love is not painful, you know? Friendships are not painful. It hurts my soul. It really hurts my soul for her. And I'm probably going to do a more cohesive video when I kind of like consume my Maggianos and watch RuPaul's Drag Race. And maybe I just need to stay off of social media for the rest of the night and just kind of watch how it unfolds tomorrow and I'm sure I'll see all the receipts. I'm sure this is not the end of it. I'm sure that there will be more that will be tweeted out and said. So I will come back tomorrow with a more cohesive video, but I just had to sit down and say something about it now because I was like, I'm so just blown away. And I'm really blown away, to be honest with you, by the amount of people that are defending Jeffree Star and his tweets and saying that this should have been private and all this kind of stuff. The hairstylist took it public. Why shouldn't Trisha defend herself? He said horrific things to her publicly. Horrific things. It's just, the way that people talk to each other breaks my heart. It absolutely breaks my heart. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.